Hello world, WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. So I did a little work on getting the system ready for our next step. I have a lot of ribbon cables with me and have created quite a few yellow lights to display our information that we'll need. Now, the reason I chose yellow light instead of anything else, well, one, it doesn't matter. The light color only really indicates what the bloody thing is set as. It's not like it's going to be detrimental to any part of the build. Now, I got some ribbon cables so we can connect our I/O expanders, and I only had all the colors up to cyan, which I believe that is a total of 10. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's 10. Okay, so we got 10 wires per row. We have 2 rows. This, I believe, is set to 126, and this is 125. So just a simple ribbon cable arrangement, and making sure that they're connected. We'll go around, then down, sniff a little, and then go back up, and yes, we're charged. Now, as you may or may not have seen already, I've got a few things right in my inventory, and a pink inventory that was over here. So we got a lot of item frames, which I'm going to hang up. Now, can we put a frame within a frame? Yes, we can. Where do all they go? There we go. So we're going to put a total of our 20 frames up, hoping we don't have any duplicates, and we probably did. Can you please give them back? Oh, I don't want you there. This thing is too much work. So we're going to have to see where our bloody things are, and they're probably getting consumed. But oh well, so let's see. Any more there? Well, we're probably going to have to deal with 2 less than we had. So these item frames are going to just be an indication of what particular item is this light corresponding to, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So it doesn't really matter what they are, but I'm going to put honeycomb here, stringy comb here, and let's check our combs list, because I'm pretty sure, and that's not helpful at all, is it? We got citrus combs. So what are our basic combs that we have to be wary of? We have honeycomb, simmering comb, stringy, frozen, dripping, silky, parched, and mossy. So that's 8 combs in total. And that is including dripping. So we got 1, 2. Does that include cocoa? No, it doesn't. So we'll probably put cocoa here, and our dripping comb here, and leave all the other spaces for the other combs there, all the default vanilla combs, if you will. That'd be something nice to have, a vanilla comb. Now, where the other stuff is, we'll put all of the fun stuff, such as our sugar. Pollen will be here, royal jelly here, and then we'll go into our other combs, such as our rocky comb here. Iron will be one of them, and copper. Now we're obviously missing a few of the ones, so we have zinc and silver, but we have our other 2 that'll be here. Zinc, silver, and we're going to probably have to pull them out of the frame if we're going to have some sort of easy process to do that, please. And it's probably going to be an add as you go anyways. What are you doing? It's just flashing me or something. It's not even fun. Okay, so we got basic combs ready, and we got our general locations for them. So maybe we can move our monitor so that it's in a better place than where it is right now. Maybe have it over here so that we understand where we are. So let's save what is on the disk right now, then move our monitor, and then that'll be basically the place where we'll be able to edit everything. So we got our monitor right here, and we are able to edit it. So let's just do a quick page, and we have our stuff So let's check our words. We obviously have everything that we need right here. So let's page it again so that we clear our workspace. And let's start trying to figure out a good way to get everything. So each of these products, we'll refer to them as products, not Walmart products, but just products for the rest of this. And each product pretty much is designated an I/O expander, which is right there, as well as the wires. Now, I unfortunately have the Steve skin on right now because I could not connect to the Minecraft database because my internet is down. Let's hope I can upload this video eventually. So, let's stop the shenanigans and add an area for new products. So, just a new product. That's all we need, and we only really need to store 2 bits of information. We need the 2 cells for the I/O expander, and etc. So new product, 2 cells allot is all that we need to allot the system. Now, here is the fun part. Now, every single bee can produce a variety of things. So if we look at our apiarist database, we can have cultivated, which produces 1 honeycomb, but we can also have imperial, which produces 2 things. And then there are other bees that I'm sure can produce a whole whack of things. Obviously, we can't account for every single one, especially in the future where Binny and Mysterious Ages with their mods, extra bees, and Atomic bees. There we go. Almost had a, bit of a mind break thing. Yeah, it's a mind break. Live with it. They could add bees that have a lot more products. So we need to make some sort of array for it, and it must be variable sized. So new p set will need to take a list of the products and also the number of products that we have. Since it's variable size array, you need to be able to tell the size of the array. Kind of the whole point of a variable size array, don't you think? So new p set. We need to have the, basically, new p set will need to have the products, the number, and a create name. So we have to duplicate so that we have the number. So we're duplicating the number, and we need to allot this. Now, whenever you use allot, what you get is the address of the name that you just created, or rather the allotted memory space location that it's given. So with that, we need to get the number again. So pick it and add 1 to it. So we still have the number and the name is right before it. So with this number, we got the products, the actual number, we got the name, and the same number plus 1. The reason we add plus 1 to it is so that we can do a do loop to it. So what this do loop is going to do is basically start from 0, work its way up to the maximum. And since we need to go all the way to the maximum because it's the number of products, say we have 2 products. This is number 2. Obviously, there are 2 products that we need to account for. This will be cell location 0, so we need to be able to get to 2. Because of the do loop, we have to actually put a 3, since when it gets to 3, it stops. So there we go. We got our do loop ready, and each and every single do loop, we need to swap it, and 1 pick. So swap gets the number, or rather the number we're going to put into it. 1 pick gets the name, so it copies the name. That's good. There's probably an easier way to do this. I cells plus changes the name so it's the correct location, and then exclamation mark assigns it, and then we can loop it. So supposedly that is all we need in our new p set. All we should do, since everything is saved except for the new product, is test it out. Also, we need to actually add new products, so let's add 3 things. Actually, yeah, let's add comb. Is that called a normal comb or that's a dripping comb? Honeycomb. So create honeycomb new product. And there we go. So what we need to do is assign it. This will take obviously you know what this should do, so we need to take the IOX, the wire, and the name. So we got the name, duplicate it. This is on the fly, by the way. So duplicate it, rotate, swap. So we got the wire now in front of the name. And then it's one cells plus assign, and then assign. So let's get this. For instance, we need to create honeycomb. We got honeycomb already. So 126, I believe, is the IO expander here. I'd love to be able to check it, but that is currently impossible. 126, wire 1 because it's white. Okay, that should work. So when we do honeycomb 1 cells plus at, we should get our 1. We should, unless it's just gonna, okay, that's good. So we got honeycomb. So let's do this. Honeycomb, and we only want one of it, so there's only one thing, and we create base B. So base set. So base set is going to be our product set, which most of our bees are going to use, because common, cultivated, meadows, etc. all use the honeycomb. So it's going to be used a lot. So base set. So we create base set and obviously new piece set. Let's hope this works. So supposedly it works. So now all we need to do is add the set to our B. We're going to do this manually. So let's take our base set, take common for example, and it's at 14. Cell location 14. So there we go. And now to be able to test this, we need to have a new word, which is going to be displaying the products. So let's go display.prod. So this will take a B and display all its products. Okay, so for this we need to take the product ID, which is all we're really taking, all we need. So 14 plus cells rather, plus at, and we need to duplicate the product. Sorry, plus at. So there we go, and dupe and at, because this will give us the number of products that's in the array, and add 1 to it. So now here comes the do loop. We need to be able to go through every single thing, and as stated before, say we have 2 things, this will be a 2. We need to start on cell location 1, which is here, and say this is 2. We need to add 1 to it, so it goes 1, 2, 3, stops here but doesn't actually read it. So that means we need to start at 1 and do. So duplicate our address thing. I cells plus at. This gets our wire. Rather, it gets our product. So this is the individual product. We have to duplicate it and change the IOX address. And then we take our item from it, our wire rather, and IOX set. And we loop this, and then at the very end, we still have the product ID, and we need to drop it. So we'll just have to wait for it to compile. You'd think it would be smart enough to listen when I am talking to it. You should be done by now. I said you should be done by now. Good. Loop, drop, and done. So display prod, we should probably save this. No, if we save it, we overwrite our disk. We could always have another disk way. No, that is too simple. Okay, so common display.t. No, display.prod. Please work, please work. It didn't work. Imagine that. So our issue, we have to find out. Let's check our stack. We got a lot of numbers on the stack. That is not very helpful. Let's clear the stack and try it again. Common display.prod. Check the stack again. Nothing on the stack, which is intended, and there is currently nothing. So let's figure out what is wrong. We need to go through our whole honeycomb testing. Honeycomb at, okay, we got our IO expander. Let's see if it actually turns on. You might want to actually set it, so let's do that a roundabout way, I'm sure. One IOX set. There we go. So that's not the problem, and that looks very noticeable. So we can even go way over here and notice it. I like that. I like that a lot. Much better to have it very noticeable here and pretty much backlight the frame, and it's perfect because it's pixel, 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 pixel. I am getting distracted. So honeycomb itself is not the problem. Base set. You need to find what its number is. Good. Base set 1 cells plus at, which we should get eventually. 17408. Is that the correct address for honeycomb? It shouldn't be. Obviously it is not, so there is an issue when it's prescribing it, so to speak. But it's getting 1 correctly, so if we try this, so honeycomb, let's add it manually to base set 1 cells plus manual, reset all. Wait, I am curious. Nope. Let's reset all. So it should manually go through everything, including that, and get rid of it. And now that it's done, let's try common 14 cells plus at. Check if it's the same as our base set. Base set at should be the same. Sorry. I need to get the address, which is the exact same. So it's actually saved into it. So all we need to do is now common display.prod. That would be helpful if we actually had display.prod. What the heck is wrong? Huh? Be right back. I gotta think on this. Okay, so I did a bit of testing. As you see through my create test, 10 cells a lot, I tested test and see that when it does a lot, it does return the correct address, so that's not the issue. And I recreated base set and did create base set honeycomb 1 new p set, and that works. So it might mean that I am creating it in the wrong order or something. I'm not entirely sure on that. But I just recompiled display.prod because that might be an issue. So let's re-get our base set, common 14 cells plus exclamation mark, and this should work. You know, it's possible that I don't have enough RAM. I have been creating a lot of stuff. So let's actually get a new disk and then do a cold. So I'll create a new disk, save it as like test 3 or something. Yeah, I know, very imaginative. And then we'll be able to actually test if we're out of RAM. If so, let's create a new one. Hop. Okay, 8,019 bytes free. I doubt that's the problem. So let's do our set. So base set 14 cells. Cells plus... It might be good if we did that to common, right? Yeah. Common 14 cells plus exclamation mark. So in common, we should have... Haha, in common. No? Okay. So we got the 14 cells and it's put into it, so we should be able to do common display.prod, and it should work. Nope. No, it doesn't. So why is that? Let's check words. Display.prod is still functional, so it means it's just not doing what it's supposed to do. I'll have a quick read through it. It might be something obvious, but considering it's just 2 lines of code, it shouldn't be too bad. Let's just check. Common 14 cells plus at base set, let's see if they're equal, and then return whether it's true. In the meantime, I'll read through it and then see what happens. Oh! Yeah, that's interesting. So I was going through the code and trying to figure out what the problem was. Now the problem was, for some reason, as soon as I wrote down my new display thing, like my display.prod, it just all of a sudden said, okay, you know what you had in your P set, your base set, yeah, it's going to go bye-bye in the first cell. Now, that the fact that it was in cell number 1 tells me that my new pset word thing just completely died. The fact that it just sucked. Let's try to explain it in a song. No, we're not going to do that. So, you know that number we had before? We duplicated it, and right away we did cells a lot. Let's go back to our model. We want 2 items. We need 1 area. Then the 2 items. How many areas of memory we need? 3. How many did we put in by just taking the 2 and allotting it? 2. So when it tried to create a new word, it was occupying this area for the word, and then I decided to overwrite it, which is not exactly the smartest thing to do. So by adding 1 to that number and then doing the lot, I should be able to get everything working. I cells plus loop, and this should be all we need to do. Let's shake vigorously, because it is all we should be able to do. So after that stupid error, let's try and see what happens when we add a new base set. Okay, create honey. Oh, we want to do base set, right? Base set, and we want honeycomb 1 and new p set. So this should work, and our base set we'll put in common, and we need to do assign 14 cells plus exclamation mark. So after this is done, we should be able to do common and display.prod. Please work. Yes, there we go. We got our products of our common B finally displaying as it should have been. So if we take our common and then we do, what is it? What's the list? We need to display.p, display.t, and display.prod. We should be able to go through and it'll display all the information so far that we have gathered on our common B. And it is working because we have our humidity and temperature, we have our B's, and we have our products. So far, we have everything that we have set ourselves to. Now we should do something a little more complex. So our imperial B is going to be added here. And it's going to need noble and majestic. We don't have those. So maybe we can add our noble, majestic, and then imperial. And then add the products for the imperial and etc. And then it should work out. So let's see if I can remember how to add that stuff in. Then we'll go onwards. Okay, so I almost have everything ready. I thought you'd be interested in this part. We have dripping comb and jelly, because if we look at our imperial, it needs our royal jelly and our dripping comb, and its breeding information is the majestic and noble, which I have added quasi into the system. So let's do dripping comb, jelly 2, and we need to create imp set. Imp set, yeah, imperial set. Let's go with that. Create imp set, and it needs to be new p set. If we actually spell it, new p set, there we go. So everything is created. Everything should be assigned correctly, that is. And if we do imp set, and once again, once we get everything set correctly, we should be able to streamline this a bit better. Imp set, imperial, and 14 cells plus exclamation mark, assigning that into the system. And now let's remove all. So clear all the lights. Let's see, let's check our words, and it should be somewhere. New product, display, reset all. Always helpful if I actually get the words right. It could come in handy. So, royal jelly is in the correct place, so all we need to do is do imperial, and we need to display.p, display.t, and display.prod. So we got our temperature range, which might be incorrect. I might have added it in correctly. Oh well. That's not showing for some reason. Might have to figure that out. And we only have one of those showing. That is something we're going to have to test and probably see if imperial etc. has actually gotten everything. Let's see. Imperial 1 cells plus at. We should get the address of one of our B's. Oh, that might have been helpful. We didn't actually... Is that the right address? Seems a little odd. Yeah, that is a bit odd. One moment. Okay, I think I got everything figured out. Apparently there was not actually a glitch in the system per se. There were two issues actually. One is the fact that I set the wrong IO expander for the royal jelly. Oops. It's supposed to be on wire 2, and thus why that wire over there was on. I set it to 127, and obviously 127 actually, well, the expander turned on. So moving onwards, the issue with that is the system assumes that if there's room in the add combo thing that, well, it'll be a 0 if there's room. But with all the forgetting and etc., rewriting of the words, it got filled in with garbage So what I probably have to do is try to have a new bee thing that it goes through the entire thing and then just initializes every single thing in it to 0, thus getting rid of all that junk. I can probably add that later on, but for now let's just check it. Imperial, all we want to do is display.p, display.t, display.prod, and hoping it doesn't blow up, we got our normal and normal. We still don't have the stuff over there, probably because of the garbage, or rather that I didn't add combo. So let's do that. We need to do majestic, noble, imperial, add combo, and make sure it's a -1. That's true. So we just need to do imperial display.p, and if we turn around, it's actually turned on with, for some reason, one yellow light. I'm not too sure why that is. I'll look through. Actually, I know for sure what that is. It's because of the aforementioned kookiness. So that shouldn't be on. Let's just ignore that. But we do have our white. So onto the to-do list, which I'm going to do separately, but paste it, is to have some sort of initialization set so that I'll be able to, well, whenever I use a lot, I'll be able to just initialize every single thing in my bees, or depending on, well, I should make it a habit to initialize everything as I go, but we'll automate it some way. So there are only really a few things that we need to advance for our system. Let's see. All we really need to do with this is expand it by just adding some more IO expanders until we have all the necessary products. We might use that wall as well, depending on how everything goes. And another thing we need to add in, which should only take one coding session, hopefully, is an ability to display the biome information of the bee that we have. So for the particular climate, we need to be able to display everything. So let's see. If we have a row of 8 there, and if we assume this is the max, we don't actually need too many expanders. Now, as I might have mentioned before, there may be an easy enough way to make it so that we don't have our expanders. So we're not as limited with our expanders. So for instance, if we have 2 ribbon cables going out like so, off into the merry blue yonder or wherever they are. If we have some way to move this ribbon cable over here, we should be able to have a lot more expansion for our work to do, if that made any sense. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. Okay, so I'm going to work a bit more on the physical build of this. That shouldn't be too much of a problem, and hopefully I can add in a few more bees. I'm probably going to put some placeholder lamps instead over here, since I only really need the top 2 rows to be effective, but we'll see how that goes. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.